I've watched a lot of things get called revolutionary over the past 30 years. The fax machine was going to change businesses forever. Then it was websites, then social media, then apps. Each time was the same promise. This changes everything. And each time, the businesses that actually won weren't the ones who adopted the newest thing the fastest. They were the ones who used it without losing what made people trust them in the first place. And AI is no different, except this time the risk isn't using the tool the wrong way. It's using it so much that you disappear inside it. Now, I've got two sons who started door-to-door sales, the hardest school of sales there is. And the one thing I watched them learn over and over through every knockback is that a script, no matter how well written, doesn't work if it doesn't sound like you. AI-generated marketing has exactly the same problem. It's just in digital form. Welcome to the Digital Success for Business podcast. I'm Leanne Cohens, founder of Marketing Leap, and for over 13 years, I have watched marketing technology promise to change everything, more times than I can count. And in this episode, we're talking honestly about the one that's actually living up to that promise while also creating a very real problem that almost nobody is naming. AI-generated content sounds fine. It's polished, it's grammatically correct, and it sounds exactly like everyone else. If you've ever read back something that AI helped you write and thought, that doesn't sound like me, then this episode is for you. We're going to talk about why that happens, what to actually do about it, and how to use AI as a genuine collaborator in your marketing without losing the one thing that makes people choose you over a competitor with the exact same service. And that's your voice. As a small business owner, you need a practical, honest guide to using AI the way it actually works, not the way it's being sold to you. So here's what's happening when you ask an AI tool to write a post about your services. Firstly, it doesn't know anything about your business. It doesn't know your clients, and it doesn't know the specific mistake that you have watched someone make last Tuesday or the exact phrase that a client used when they finally understood why their marketing wasn't working. It's never sat across from a business owner and watched their shoulders drop with relief when a strategy finally clicked. What AI has is patterns, millions of them. Every marketing post, every LinkedIn article, every blog on every topic, blended into an average of what marketing content sounds like, which means when you ask it to write from scratch, you get the average. Polished, correct, and completely interchangeable with every other business asking for exactly the same thing. And that's not a flaw in the technology. That's exactly what it was designed to do. The problem is entirely on how it's being used by you, the business owner. Because here's the trap that so many business owners fall into. They open ChatGPT, type write a post about my services, and publish whatever comes out without barely a glance. It feels productive. Content's going out, the calendar's full, but every time that happens, two things are happening at the same time. First, you're adding to a pile of content that already, by some estimates, makes up around 90% of everything that's published online. More noise competing with more noise for the same shrinking pool of attention. Second, and this is the part that costs you clients without you ever knowing it, you're training your own audience to tune you out. Because if your content sounds like everyone else's, there's no reason for someone to remember you specifically. Now, I mentioned my Gen Z sons earlier. Let me tell you why that moment stuck with me so much. They both learnt to sell door to door. And if you've never done it, understand that this is not a soft introduction to sales. You knock on a stranger's door and you have seconds to earn their attention. You get told no more times in a single afternoon than most people hear in a year. And I am their worst customer and the best to train on. Don't come cold calling to me, either by phone or in person, especially when I'm busy working. And every training program starts the same way. A script, word for word, tested, refined, proven to work, and every single time the same thing happens. The reps who stick rigidly to the script get worn down fast. The rejection feels personal because the words never actually felt like theirs to begin with. But the ones who make it and the ones who genuinely succeed take that script and make it disappear. They know the structure, they know the psychology behind it, but what comes out of their mouth sounds like them. It's their pace, their humour, and their way of listening and adjusting in the moment. The script was never the point. It was the scaffolding. The moment it stopped sounding like scaffolding and started sounding like a person, that's when a script works. And AI-generated marketing has exactly the same problem. It's just in digital form. When you take AI output and publish it exactly as it lands, you're doing the equivalent of reading a sales script word for word on someone's doorstep. It's technically correct, and it's completely unconvincing. And here's where being a Gen X, ergo experienced, not older, actually helps me see this clearly. I've watched this pattern before. Every new marketing technology arrives with the same promise. This will do the work for you. Fax machines were going to eliminate cold calling. Websites were going to sell for you while you slept. Social media was going to make advertising obsolete. But none of them ever replaced the human element. They all just changed where the human element needed to show up. And AI is no different. It's an extraordinary tool for structure, speed, and thinking things through. What it can't do, and was never going to do, is replace the specific lived human experience that makes someone trust you over the business next door offering the exact same service. So how do you actually use AI in your marketing without sounding like everyone else using it? There's 3 steps, and none of them are complicated, and all of them make the difference between content that sounds generic and content that sounds like you. So step 1, use AI to think with you, not write for you. Stop opening a chat and typing write a post about my services. That's asking the tool to invent your expertise from nothing, which is exactly how you end up with a generic output. Instead, talk it through first. Record a voice note while you're driving. Type out your raw, messy thinking exactly as it comes to you. Then hand that to AI and ask it to help you structure it. Turn it into an outline, pull out the strongest points, and organize your thinking into something clear. The expertise is still entirely yours. AI is simply helping you get it out of your head faster. Step 2, teach AI your voice. Don't assume it already knows. Most people never tell AI anything about how they actually sound, so it defaults to the average. Give it examples. Paste in a few of your best emails, your most honest social posts, and the phrases that you actually use with your clients. Tell it explicitly what to avoid. No hype, no fake enthusiasm, no corporate buzzwords. Keep it warm, direct, and practical. The more specific you are about your voice, the less generic the output becomes. Then step 3, never publish straight from the AI window. This is the one rule that matters more than the other 2 combined. Let AI do the heavy lifting, brainstorming angles, drafting the structure, formatting a checklist, building the bones of a content plan. All of that is genuinely useful, but before anything goes out, you step in. You need to add the real client story, the local context that only you would know, the specific detail that proves that you were actually there, because that's the human fingerprint, and that's the one thing that AI cannot fake on your behalf. Because here's the bottom line. The businesses winning with AI in 2026 are not the ones using it the most. They're the ones that are using it with the clearest strategy and the discipline to always finish the job themselves. Bots can create content, but only humans create trust. And AI is not the enemy of good marketing. Publishing without stepping in afterwards is. So use it to think with you and not write for you. Teach it your voice instead of assuming it already knows, and never, ever publish something straight from the AI window without adding the human fingerprint only you can give. Because the businesses that win in 2026 are not the ones using the most AI, they're the ones using it with the clearest strategy behind it. And if you want a practical starting point, our free strategy workbook and social media to-do checklist both come with AI prompt packs built in. Not generic prompts, the exact structure that I use to help clients think through their expertise before AI ever touches a word of it. So head to marketingleap.net to grab them completely free. And if you're overwhelmed by how to weave AI into your marketing safely without losing what makes your business sound like your business, that's exactly the gap that we bridge at Marketing Leap. We help you integrate smart AI systems into real strategy so that your business works harder without adding to your workload. So book a free strategy session right there on the homepage, or if you want a complete 90-day roadmap built around your voice, your offers, or your capacity, the VIP Strategy Intensive does exactly that in 4 focused hours. So stop guessing and start growing. Make sure that you're subscribed on your favorite streaming platform so that you don't miss what's coming next. Because in the next episode, we're tackling a question almost every growing business eventually asks itself. Should I hire a marketing manager, or is there a smarter option? We're going to walk you through a straightforward comparison, whether it's in-house, agency, freelancer, and fractional leadership. No bias, just a clear look at what each one actually costs, what each one actually delivers, and how to know which stage your business is really at. So if you've been quietly wondering whether it's time to bring in help and what kind of help actually makes sense, that episode coming up is just for you. And if today's episode gave you something to think about, please share it with another business owner who needs to hear it. The best compliment that you can give this podcast is putting it in front of someone it might actually help. So thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for tuning in to the Digital Success for Business podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and follow us on YouTube for even more tips.